At the start of August, Bethesda and Night Dive Studios surprised the Doom community with a new re-release of everyone's favourite classic first-person shooter, unless you like Duke Nukem, Heretic, Quake, Rise of the Triad, Shadow Warrior. Okay, so maybe not everyone's favourite classic first-person shooter. What made this re-release so noteworthy is just how much care and attention was taken to pay homage to Doom and its origins, from including the id Vault, filled with unseen and previously unknown assets which chronicle the development of Doom from early alpha to pre-release, to allowing some of the greatest WODs and mods that Doom has ever produced to be uploaded to the official mod servers, although if you ask some people, this doesn't go far enough, and I kind of agree with that. But perhaps the biggest value adder to this package is the decision to include every previous retail release of Doom, as well as a whole new 2 episodes. Everything from the Ultimate Doom through to Master Levels, and even John Romero's sigil gets official treatments and brought into the modern games. It's a real joy to see all this content in one easy to grab package. But it's not a complete package. It's a gripe so minor to me that most people watching this will probably groan and roll their eyes when I bring it up. However, I do feel its absence from this collection in any official capacity is kind of a missed opportunity. I am referring to the absence of the console versions of Doom's levels, commonly referred to as the Jaguar level set. I know, I can already hear the comments from certain people. It doesn't matter, those levels were rubbish anyway, you can find them in the mod section if you really want to play them. And I hear you loud and clear. As I said, this is a personal gripe, and I hope that they may turn up at some stage. So let me have the mic on this one, and let me explain why I think this is the case. For many console players in the 1990s, these levels were the only way that they got to experience Doom, and it's not just one version of Doom where these levels turned up, they actually turned up in a good half-dozen versions of Doom, ranging from the Atari Jaguar through to the PlayStation 1, the Sega Saturn, and even all the way up to the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. The level sets may have changed and the number of levels shifted per release, but for all intents and purposes, these versions of Doom levels were the way that some people remember playing Doom, and to those people, these are core memories of the Doom experience. Many players will only have experienced these versions of Doom, but not just this, a lot of people who have only ever played on the PC will never have experienced these versions of these levels. These levels have only ever been hampered by the limitations of the platforms that they were thrust on. Unless you put in the hard work to emulate or track down specifically crafted WOD files to use on PC, there was simply no easy way to get to these levels. Without an official re-release, many gamers simply won't make the effort to try out these levels. And sure, people have uploaded some of the levels to the mod center, and you can go fishing in there to find them, but it's not the best experience, and definitely not the best way you'd want to experience these levels. Making them only accessible through the mod center devalues their contributions to Doom and its legacy. Most fans won't even know what they're looking at when they see it in the list among all these other mods. Official releases in this package get descriptions, and fans are told what makes them so important to Doom's history. Depriving the console levels of this makes them seem like they didn't exist in the first place, and they didn't matter, which is simply not the case. They are, whether people want to say it or not, a huge part of Doom history. Close to 1 million copies of Doom were sold on PlayStation 1, enough that it ended up on Sony's Platinum range of games. For a whole group of people, this was the gateway to experiencing Doom, and that should be officially acknowledged. All this without discussing the fact that there are some great levels buried in these collections. There are 8 total levels that have been officially locked onto these old consoles, 10 if you want to include the 2 original Xbox exclusive levels, although the less said about those the better, let's be totally honest. The console version of Hell Keep, E3M1, destroys its PC counterpart. The Marshes, exclusive to PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn's versions of Doom, is one of the most unique levels in any retail Doom experience, pitting you against a Cyberdemon in a wide open and moody level. Club Doom is absolutely bonkers, while The Mansion, Twilight Descends and Threshold of Pain are better than a lot of Doom 2's official levels. Even the levels which aren't standout, there's enough variety and changes to make it a big curiosity. Some levels receive massive changes to layout and the way that players experience them. I'd argue some of the worst levels in PC's Ultimate Doom are made slightly better because of this trimming down process. I've already made a video in the past discussing why I think PlayStation Doom needs to be brought forward in some official capacity, and I feel that the case is even stronger now that we've gone full blown nostalgia with classic Doom. I'd argue that PlayStation 1 Doom is the most unique take on Doom outside of Doom 64, and it's probably one of the most enjoyable refreshes to the original games that they've ever received. And let's be totally honest, it's probably the best way that these console levels have ever been represented, making it the ideal candidate to be used for the purpose I'm describing in this video. You've got new moody atmospheric music, you've got new sounds, you've got animated skyboxes which appear in the new episode Hello, you've got Doom 2 monsters in Doom 1, you've got 59 levels across Doom 1 and Doom 2 in the PS1 collection, 89 if you want to include the 30 final Doom levels. When I made that video, a few comments were very quick to point out there are modern fan ports of the PSX version of Doom, just play that, and to those people I say, what about console gamers? A lot of people won't play Doom on their PCs, they'll be playing through Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. They won't have that option. I'm not really talking to the hardcore gaming crowd here, because you already have half a dozen ways to experience these levels. It's the console gamers who aren't able to do all that, who I'm thinking about here, and no, doing it through the mod section isn't the optimal experience, as I discussed previously. I know a lot of people say this simply isn't that big a deal, this is something that has no weight and isn't worthy of a discussion, these levels are looked down on and seen as inferior by a lot of those players, and that's a fine opinion to have, but for me, it's an omission that goes against the intention of this collection, a re-release that prides itself on bringing together all aspects of Doom history, but leaves out a giant slice of it. It's important to preserve and maintain all aspects of Doom's history, even the parts that don't seem the most exciting. Without these, Doom wouldn't be what it is today. These levels are kind of officially lost to time, and the inability to access them without rolling the dice on whether the mod center uploads do their job is kind of disappointing. It's not the optimal way you want to experience Doom's history. As I've already acknowledged, this isn't even a major deal for most players, but for me personally, it's clear that this collection is likely to be the definitive collection moving forward for classic Doom, so why not go the extra 10 yards and include these levels in an official capacity? In a collection where Doom's history is so richly brought to the forefront, I just feel it's an omission that really misses the mark, but that's just my feeling on it. I'd love to hear what you all think, and even if you think this is worthy of a discussion at all, I know that this is something that's personal to me, but I wanted to bring this up as a discussion point in a video because it is something that's been on my mind. For now though, we can just sit here and dream of what could have been.